Okay, hi, Treehouse Tribe. Pam here, and I'm excited that we are starting a brand new interview in the Treehouse series. So the first interview I have today is with Esther DeBoer, and I'm not sure I said that right. Esther and I were talking about this.
That's fine. Thanks.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I am super excited to be here with you. Where did I reach you? Where are you today, Esther?
I'm in Traralgon. Traralgon. It's a little country town in Gippsland, Victoria. So we're just near the snow one side, we're near the rainforest another, beach the other way, and then Melbourne the other way. That's kind of cool.
It sounds gorgeous. I hope to make it someday to Australia to come visit. That would be amazing. Well, yeah, thank you for joining me today. So I have my little list, so you'll see me peeking down. But one of the things I had asked Esther is if she'd be willing to give us a little peek at her creative space here. So Esther, you've got a lot of stuff going on around. You want to tell us kind of how you're set up there?
Okay. Basically, last night I got a whole bulldozer and I pushed through this room because I'm a bit of a hoarder. But in my computer, I know that the art studio gets to a space where it's to a stage where it's no longer habitable by human beings, but you're seeing it in its glory today. Hang on.
Love it.
See, all my stuff here for Raymond, I'm working on. So I put all the things I'm working on all over the walls at the time, all my little cues.
That's awesome.
Great camel work here.
Wow.
Yeah, my current work.
So, oh, that's gorgeous.
Hangers up here. I know that looks really strange, but when I'm actually painting, I hang things on hangers. I got that. Yeah.
Now, is that storyboards that you have on those hangers right now?
Yeah, all like with my writing and everything, and they're just different things. Usually I use it for painting, but the more moment, because they're big, they won't go on the wall. I'm sticking them on the hangers. And over here, it's my beautiful front yard. And I was so scared a spider was going to leap out of something. Just a few days ago, I'm a bit nervous. A few days ago, there were most massive spiders in this art studio. And over here, I've got to show you this. This is a model of a house I built. Can you see that?
Oh my goodness. Is this for you to illustrate?
Yeah, this was basically for a book I just finished called Shop in the Corner. I know you're getting some really weird angles there.
That's okay. It's
under my website. You can actually see little photos of it all lit up and everything. But yeah, that was my prop. Because I had a lot of architecture in this particular story. So I thought I'm going to get it all wrong. And so I needed a reference. But the big mistake was a spiral staircase. Because of course my spiral staircase is so inaccurate. And so I end up just props, but it was so much fun. I got distracted just making that flipping thing, and then you think, oh, you got to start illustrating. I just want to build a little. I made a whole city. So this art studio was full of little cardboard houses with little fake lanterns inside them and everything. And yeah,
that is amazing. Yeah. How long did it take you to make the house and the other buildings and things?
Not that long, because what I did with like the house I did myself, and then with the little buildings I sat up, have a few bottles of wine with friends, and we all started making the little houses together. Yeah, it was kind of fun. But yeah, you can see them on my website. If you go to Ester DeBoer Illustrations, it's got on my website.
I will definitely do that.
Yeah, check it out. It's quite fun. So that's for Shop on the Corner, and that's going to be out in a few months' time.
Oh, that is fabulous. Thank you for sharing that. I am really impressed. That is super neat. And I love the idea of the things that you have hanging back there too. That's a great way to store your artwork and move it around. I love that.
This house is full of hanging stuff. This is just the beginning of the hanging stuff. Like,
well, thanks for bulldozing so we can come in today.
Cottage the rest of it.
Well, I appreciate you letting us take a look in there today, Esther. So I'm just going to take a peek here. So this answers my question a little bit. You've been illustrating for a while. So how and when did you get started in illustration?
Yeah, it's kind of been, like the obvious dawns on you slowly. Because I've always done art. I used to make little books when I was a kid. I used to make little stories when I was a kid, and then we'd act them out and everything like that. We were really into that sort of thing. But I was doing education in Canberra, and I was really, really depressed. It was so dry, it was so dull. And I remember we're doing an art subject, and I was like dying inside. And we
Oh,
had a visit from John Winch. You heard of John Winch? He's he's passed away now, Australian children's book illustrator. And I basically cornered this man afterwards in the library, like cornered him and shoved my folio in his face. And, help, you know. And he's looking at my stuff and he's going, "This is great. You should be doing kids' book illustration." And he gave me lots of advice. But it still took me, I think a lot of it took me a while to get the confidence, I think. I wasn't quite certain. I remember trying to get information, couldn't get information, but he was great. I mean, the only negative comment he made was, "You draw a lot of bums."
okay, that's a new one.
That's really funny. But yeah, so then I went on and I did visual arts, and I did one for, I mean, all my visual arts stuff is all very black and white and dark and detailed. And then Emma McTaggart, she approached me and said, "I've been to one of your art exhibitions. I like your art. I wonder if you could illustrate a kid's book for me, in bright, bold, splashy things." I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I can switch. So I did Imagine with her. Like, so it kind of like, I'd done a few other things for little local companies, but as anyone out there who's done little private commissions with little tiny local companies, they sort of disappear and you never see this stuff.
Yeah. It doesn't really get your work out
there. A romance book called The Sunrises of Margaret Brown. I mean, I just still laughing at the name to this day, but I've never seen The Sunrises of Margaret Brown since. I hope Margaret Brown's not watching this and sort of thinking thanks, but
she's like, "Thanks a lot." Yeah.
That's not bad. But I've never seen.
We love you, Margaret, wherever you are.
Thank you.
So how many years then do you think have you been at this?
Boy, I think about say 7 years.
Okay.
That's not that long. Because
But you put a lot of work into it. I mean,
in between, and trying to work out what the hey I'm trying to do.
One of the questions that you said you would be interested in hearing from other illustrators, so I'm going to ask you, what do you find most challenging about being an illustrator?
Working out just working out the industry, I guess, and I'm a hands-on learner, so a lot of things like I learn from sitting beside people and learning to do it. I think pricing, like when I price work to stick on a gallery wall, it's a one-off.
Yeah.
But what I mean? It's a different process and everything, and that kind of thing is like a nightmare for me, trying to work out how long something's going to take.
Oh, yeah.
Because every one of my books so far has been practically totally different to the next as well. One I use Scratchboard, and the other one I make a whole model for, and then I'm going to something totally different again for Raymond. So I guess that's the sort of thing that time teaches you. Yeah.
Time and experience. Do you ever have friends or family that just think that you can whip something up for them and they want to give you $20 for it? Or
you get the whole I did this thing at make a lovely children's book. It doesn't make any earthly sense, and I'll give you $50, and they're actually a little bit offended. And then you got a family member saying, "Oh, they're really nice. They've been friends for years." You're thinking,
I think people just don't understand.
Yeah.
They really don't. So
I did a bit of that sort of thing, and then began to realize that the amount of time it took and everything, and then went, no. But I think everybody, when they first get the idea of, hey, I wouldn't mind putting my toe in the water here, we've all done a bit of that. Yeah. And then we go, okay, that's not a good idea.
No. I think you're exactly right. It's kind of a process of learning. One thing I was going to ask you, I don't know if you have a special piece you'd like to share with us, and it sounds like you have done a lot of different things, but do you have a piece or a style or something that you feel like is quintessentially Ester?
I do. I don't actually have that piece on me. That would be my artwork.
If you know what, we can always scan it in and I can attach it to the interview.
I can show you that. I'll show you a bit of Filthy Fox though.
Okay.
That's the first one I've seen in print. Now this one was a private commission. I went to art school with this guy, and he did this really dark poem called Filthy Fox. And this was just for the love of having something in print. So I had a lot of stuff here. And as you see, it's really, really dark. I use scratchboard, old-fashioned scratchboard.
Oh.
So I'll show you some of my favorite pages from this. The scratchboard is, because my strong point's line.
Okay.
Like I'm okay at color, but my strong point is line. So
Oh my goodness.
can't really see too well.
That is,
again, you've got a detail thing and you've got a
Yeah.
computer screen. You've got
That
your
is
redneck farmer here.
gorgeous.
There's a sticker that says I shoot and I vote, because we get them around Australia, those stickers. You probably, I don't know,
No.
maybe
Well, we probably have different kinds of stickers.
maybe the deep south or something. So
Yeah.
this is one of my favorite pictures. This is, like it says, like, he slaughtered my goose, and
Oh my
lots of
goodness.
negative space. You got the fox here looking sinister.
That is so intense. I love it.
I went to a 50s retro thing here. He's getting a lesson on how bad foxes are, and the two diagrams on the blackboard.
Wow.
The farmer.
Wow.
And this is my favorite. This is where I go totally Esther, because my thing is, I just block that lamp. My thing is detail. So this is a fox boiling bunnies and putting little ducklings on skewers. And
Hey, that's a bad fox.
it's a really bad fox. Again, it's something. I had all the scope and lots of traps. But this one I showed at school, and you've got these little kids who just say to you, like, the older kids look at you and go, "You're evil, miss." And then the really little kids go, "Ducklings that be crunchy and yummy," and go, "Yeah."
Oh, that is hilarious. So how long did it take you to do the illustrations for this one?
A number of months. Yeah. This was my first kind of one I've seen actually in print. Like, I did little bits and pieces before that. They sort of faded into the, like I mentioned, and this one actually saw in print. And so yeah, a few months. The way I time, the way I work, if you were to ask me how long, people always say, how long does it take to do that drawing? Well, see, I listen to audiobooks while I draw.
Okay.
I got a real scatterbrain, so it keeps my brain anchored into what I'm doing. And listening to these audiobooks, so I can basically say, wow, I got through 3 chapters today. Oh no, like 8 chapters more.
Yeah.
Like, so I'll say I got through 8 chapters of, that particular book today, and that's how I time myself.
That's how you know. So do you know how many books you went through during that time period?
Yeah, and then I add, I basically like a list of the books I go through, because I'm pretty impressed with my, how much I've read now. I'm just becoming very literate.
Now, are you picking, because I remember Nina in one of her videos talking about the mood she was in when she was illustrating affected her illustrations. So are you picking more sinister, dark books when you're illustrating something like that?
Listen, I actually am really careful, because I have actually ruined an artwork in the past and it's one I shared on my page on Facebook. I've got an Esterisms page. I call it Esterisms page.
Yeah.
I share all my little works in progress and little ideas and scribbles. And there's a picture of a bottle tree. We have in Australia, we have these big bottle trees. They're actually giant succulents, right?
Oh.
And I was listening to this horrible, horrible book about Bangkok. And it was the darkest, most horrible thing. And this picture that I was doing on commission got darker and darker and darker until it had dark purple skies. And I actually, it's embedded in it. If I look at any of my artwork, this is a really weird thing. I was kind of curious if anyone else out there does this. I can look at a picture 5 years later and I remember the track of the audio book or whatever's happening when I look at, like, say there's a little flying rabbit here, and I remember the lines to some, say, I don't know, some Salman Rushdie novel or something, and it's actually embedded in it. So that's a really good question for me. It's really important what I do, because I will be like reading it back and a soundtrack goes back in my head.
Wow.
Yeah, so it becomes really interactive. So yeah, I got to be really careful.
That is good to think about, because when Nina said that, I was like,
I'm not the only one. There have to be other people who have.
No, I'm sure you're not.
Yeah.
So that is fascinating. It sounds like you use all different kinds of materials to create.
Yeah. Look, my favorite, I'll show you, fine ink pen. I love details. So these little fine ink pens, I use, there's a Staedtler one. I also use a Sakura Japanese one. They get down to 0.003 if you're a real detail freak.
Yeah, I am. I have one of those.
They're great. And so it almost looks like pencil rendering. And then for color, I tend toward watercolor pencils.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
because you got more control.
Yeah.
I'll show you, hang on, with To the Moon,
Yeah.
watercolor pencils. And I'll just show you how, just quickly, have a look at the sky.
Okay, lift up just a little bit there. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
watercolor
That's the
pencil.
sky. That's watercolor pencil. So what I can do is I can add a texture in there. You can see it there too. So you can see the texture of the sky.
That's gorgeous.
And but then you just select areas that you're going to make darker or smoother to bring
Yeah.
the watercolor in. So that allows me that. I find just pure watercolor on its own, I can't get the control on it as well.
Okay.
Unless I'm in spaces, I'm not a watercolorist. I'm essentially a drawer. So
Okay.
I work with a dry medium and then
So,
add in the wet.
and what you're saying basically, if I understand you, is that you're not wetting the entire thing. You're coming in and just wetting parts of it just to add some.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
fascinating because I've never seen it done quite that way, and I love the texture that you achieved with that.
Yeah,
That's
it
very
quite
cool.
nicely, that one.
Yeah. Now, are you doing this as a full-time job right now? And
No,
about
that would be
no.
nice. I do. I live on a real shoestring because I live off supply teaching and this.
What do you mean when you say supply teaching?
Like I get called up in the morning like a relief teacher.
Oh, okay.
And
We probably call that substitute.
That alarm rings, so that means
Yes.
every day I have is completely unpredictable. I might work today. I might be teaching today. I might be drawing today. I don't know. So makes it really hard to plan. But
What ages are you teaching?
Sorry, ages primary and special ed.
Okay.
So
Okay.
mostly special ed. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I've done that before though. I know that feeling. They used to call here at 4:30 in the morning because they wanted like, oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
so on an average week then, about how long do you think you get to spend illustrating, or is that just really up in the air depending on the calls you get?
It's really up in the air.
Yeah.
It's really up in the air. So sometimes I've had to knock back paid work in teaching, even when I've really been broke, just to get stuff done. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's the sacrifice. Yeah, it's real up in the air, that one. Because because I don't get any teaching over school holidays, so I've got to hoard that. And
You've got to get it when you can get the work.
Yeah, and then
yes.
I do. Well, that's how, it's a crazy way to live, but that's how I live. But that's why I live in accommodation with giant spiders.
Do you use much technology in your illustrations?
Not much, no.
Okay.
I very much traditional. I need to brush up. I've actually done 2 lots of learning graphic design in my life, believe it or not. And both times I've come out going, oh, that was a bad experience. And I'm just not a techie person, but I can see it's going to make a lot of things a lot easier because I'm doing really old fashioned methods here. And that means I've got to get it right. I don't want them to look digital. I admire it when it's done really well. But yeah, for me,
it's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the warmth of a hand done illustration.
Yes.
Like there's stuff you can do in digital that looks amazing. It's just not me. It's just
I
kind of want that old world sort of feel about it. Yeah.
Picture book illustration course that we did with Nina.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of that?
Do you know what I really liked? I liked the way, for one, because I wondered how I'd go because I'm really hands-on learner. I have to really interactive. I'd be one of the kids in the classroom you had to give a twiddle toy to, yeah. And usually online learning I suck at, but I liked the way that she's recorded. She's recorded the sessions and they're really easy to get hold of. Yeah, and that's if you've studied at uni distance, I got an assignment due in a week and they're only available to talk to in a month, but it's and the interaction online, everybody's basically teaching each other and helping each other without being intrusive. It was, I thought that was really good and really helpful. Basically there was a lot again of the structural stuff that I learned, but I wasn't quite certain if I was doing it right, and it was really affirming because I could see how she's doing it. I'm going, yeah, okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, I'm getting that right, or oh, that's a good idea, and oh, that's how that's done. Oh yay, that sort of thing was really good because I think often just to have that even that environment and, that affirmation just helps us, because anyone who does something creative really does need that support.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
It's not like a 9-to-5 job.
No. I mean, you're in your studio with your spiders working away. I'm at home. I've got my dog, but it gets lonely sometimes. So I think that's great. Yeah. Well, what is your, so you're working on Raymond. Is that your big project right now? Do you want to tell us, not with giving any secrets away, but that's kind of your main focus right now?
Raymond is an amazing, I mean, Megan went to the Philippines and she worked in an orphanage, over there, and actually met a really cheeky boy called Raymond. And she made this story called Raymond and the Fear Monster, about overcoming. It's not about not being scared. It's about how you deal with fear, how you face fear. And we've then put in, because I've got a special needs background, then we put in some strategies that we use in special ed, say with autistic kids and everything, in how you little things that you do to help with fear. So Megan's then we've woven those into the story, and it's been edited like 100 times. And even the thumbnails have been redone about 100 times. So this is the most edited story in the world. And do you want me to bring the screen up to it again?
Yeah, and just anything that you're okay showing. Yeah.
I mean, I've got these all online and everything, but
okay, perfect.
So here are my thumbs. Oh, can you see that?
Yes, I can. Oh, is that like a fear monster there with the big eyes?
He's a fear monster, and he feeds on fear. And here's I'll just move this around. This is one I'm working on at the moment. This is so weird.
And you're doing your ink pen with this, or is this graphite? Okay.
What I've done, no, it's ink pen. It looks like graphite because I've used a really fine one.
Yeah.
But then I come over afterwards and I'm just going to put a little touch of really light, pale color in certain areas, but not much. Okay. Because the more color, obviously, you start adding color and you just make a mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here I got pictures, a cute little rainforest picture, things that live. Wow. I've done lots of pictures of, I don't know what you can see there because I can't see it.
Yeah.
Lots of pictures of
animals
and the types of houses. I really wanted the authenticity of the houses. And it was great because I'm in North Queensland. I grew up in Townsville, and so I grew up with Queenslander homes on sticks, and like some of them ridiculously high.
Yeah.
These are on sticks, but just the big veranda's a big deal there, and the hammocks and everything. So, and even the sort of like the kind of trees and everything. They got the pawpaws and the bananas and everything. So I was going, oh yay, it's tropical again. So yeah, having fun with that.
Now, has a publisher picked this up?
We're self-publishing. This is
awesome.
Our project.
Okay.
Is a book cover cafe.
Okay.
And done heaps of research on who to go through, who not to go through, how to promote it, and it's going to be great. Got a lot of interest in it.
It sounds
fun, because it's our project. We can do whatever we want with it.
Which, that must be nice. I mean, I've heard people say that, working for yourself, and that's nice. So do you have an estimated time when you guys think you might be ready to publish this?
No. This year.
I hear someone there in the background. Is there somebody?
Yeah, that's Megan. Would you like a peek at the author?
I'd like to see who is in the studio with you. Hello.
We do stuff together. We're in a writers group together, and then we sit down, we draw together, we write together, we do lots of stuff, and so collaborative team.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. You guys are lucky to have each other. That is awesome. Yeah. Well, very good to see you too, and we will get to you later because I would love to interview everybody in the Treehouse and give everybody, get us a chance to know each other better. So, my last question for you, Esther, is: do you have a long-term goal? Something that you're working towards?
Now I took the sticky tape away. My thing's falling. I'm writing a novel called Yerk. So if you thought my name's hard to say, Yerk. I guess you'd say it's a young adult novel, and I best describe it as a type of really offbeat, quirky, ironic clockwork apocalypse.
Oh my! Yerk sounds like a perfect name for that.
and weirdly, I made up the name. I made up the name when I was telemarketing when I was in my 20s. Yerk. And I had this name, and I just started making these characters, and I was caricaturing these horrible people who I'm having to ring and sell advertising and everything too. And so they're abusing me, and I'm caricaturing them.
You're going to be in my book.
Yeah, I know. Every single character is based on someone I've met in it, which is, well, I shouldn't even say that
I
because
say, and if you're watching this, she is not referring to
it's
you.
not
Whoever
you. No, no, no. Some people I think's already suspected. That's probably why my friends are disappearing. No, no. But yeah, but most like I've got this boss that I call him the often boss, you know, and he runs a tavern that on a lighthouse at the end of the world that's falling off, and basically he's based on a boss I had in this cafe that was something between, you know, the mafia and Faulty Towers. I can't describe it any other way. So I've got all these characters, and you know, I've got these other characters based on the most bratty kid I could possibly imagine in the classroom, and basically Nurk he's like the village idiot. He's a bit different, you know, and he's got one friend in life, which is a spider that lives in his head, and that's the brains trust. So, and he's going to fix the world. Hey.
It sounds fabulous. How far have you actually started the writing? Or are you still working on character design?
I reckon I'd be good halfway through.
Oh,
But every time
wow.
I get halfway through, then I start to go, maybe I'm a third of the way through. Yeah, because it's just, I know my ending, but it's based on a big flat Earth, and I've done numerous sketches, and now I've got to change and everything. And I can give you links to sketches from. I've done all these great characters. And I always begin with characters, and the stories come after, very character driven.
That sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to reading that. So finish Raymond, finish your novel.
Yeah, I've got heaps of stories. I want to make my own books. I got heaps of story ideas because I got a nutty head. So
you're really a writer illustrator, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I just haven't done much in the way of it, you know, put my writing out there. I'm busy illustrating other people's stuff at the moment. So
that's exciting though. I you know, it'll be interesting to check in with you again in a year and see what you're working on. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to say hello to everybody in the Treehouse. I really appreciate it.
Hi, everyone.
And I hope you have a great day. And we just want to say goodbye to everybody in the Treehouse. And I will be contacting you because I'm hoping we could maybe try and do this once a month or once a quarter. And we have a bunch of new students that'll be coming into the Treehouse from our current class. So it's fun to build a support group. Well, great talking to you, Esther.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Pamela. Bye-bye.
Bye.